The Trump administration's efforts to go after immigrants in this country, both those here illegally and legally, is entering an even more dangerous stage. Yesterday, we told you how Border Czar Tom Homan claimed that ICE agents are the principal deciders on whether an immigrant should be considered a gang member and thus deported immediately with limited due process rights or not. Now, there is the fact that that the IRS has agreed to share immigrants' tax information with ICE to help identify and deport those here illegally, which has led to the resignation of the acting commissioner. And now the administration has announced that it will begin immediately screening immigrants' social media posts for any signs of anti-Semitism as a means to deny people applying for permanent resident status or to pull student visas. Joining me now is Andrea Flores, Vice President of Immigration Policy and Campaigns at Forward.us, and Jessica Levinson, Loyola Law School professor and MSNBC columnist. It's great to have both of you with us. Let's start, Andrea, I'll start with you. And this acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, was speaking at a border security expo in Arizona yesterday, where he said that his dream for the agency is squads of trucks rounding up immigrants for deportation the same way that Amazon trucks crisscross American cities delivering packages. It is a cruel image of oligarchy, technology, and authoritarianism meshing into each other.
Yeah, so it's really concerning and dehumanizing language. And as I heard that statement, one, is it not only horrifying to imagine human beings being compared to packages, but it's horrifying, and every American should ask, what is their goal here? Their goal here is clearly not public safety. It is clearly not national security, and it is very obviously about deporting every immigrant, regardless of how they entered, regardless of their legal status, and to remove them wholesale from the entire community. And so that type of immigration enforcement really has never happened before. We haven't seen green card holders suddenly lose their status because they've gone back and looked, and they're opening up case files of people who've had security for years in the United States, who've complied with our laws. So they're really punishing immigrants of all status and sending a very clear signal that they are not welcome here right now.
Jessica, I want to get your thoughts on this decision by the administration to screen immigrants' social media for evidence of anti-Semitic activity. I mean, the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance defined anti-Semitism as certain perception of Jews, which may be expressed as hatred towards Jews. Rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed towards Jewish or non-Jewish individuals and or their property, towards Jewish community institutions and religious facilities. There are people, including the person who actually came up with the IHRA definition, who are now saying that it has been expanded so robustly and so aggressively that it is now silencing any kind of critique against Israeli policy. Your thoughts?
So my thoughts are, obviously, I think you're correct to point out that there's not an understood definition of things like hate speech or anti-Semitism. The other, of course, is to remember that while immigration laws are really a subject of administrative grace, in the sense that nobody has the right to immigrate to this country, when people are here, they do have constitutional rights. So when it comes to, for instance, the idea of targeting people based on what they said or depriving people of due process, for instance, we have to be concerned about those constitutional protections. And I think that's much of what we're seeing in the court cases recently, is the Supreme Court saying, for instance, just this week, if people are attempted to be deported or put in custody as a result of something like the Alien Enemies Act, which of course has only been used during wartime, make sure that they have due process. The same thing, I think, goes for situations where people are targeted based on the content of speech. That's something where we need to keep an eye on the idea that the government isn't picking winners or losers or who gets to live here or not get to live here based on constitutionally protected rights.